Thanks for taking a break with us. I'm Mark, this is Arnon. Today's break is all about embedded vision. This is an area where TI plays extremely well, and our wide portfolio of DSP products are great fits for many different embedded vision applications. Arnon, let's start the discussion with this. Why is embedded vision such an exciting area for TI, and why are DSPs such a good fit for embedded vision markets?
It really has to do with what those markets are and where those embedded vision devices are deployed. So if you think about it, embedded vision means it's going to be embedded in some small device. It could be in a robot, it could be in a drone, so you have battery powered, so you need good performance at low power for long life. Other areas are factory automation, where you're out on a factory floor, you're measuring objects going by, you're running 24/7, you're running for years, you're running in a high temp environment. So these are all characteristics that the processors need to be able to withstand or deliver, to have good performance. So embedded vision markets are really in a sweet spot for DSP.
Yeah, it's no surprise that TI is excited about these. One, we see these markets growing greatly, right? As the processors grow in their capability, as the algorithms grow,
the cameras get better.
Yeah, it's going to be deployed more and more, and it's going to be used in a lot of different applications. And so we see it growing, and it just, like you said, it fits right in the wheelhouse of our DSP processors. It's low power, embedded, and a lot of times real-time processing, right? So it fits perfectly for DSP.
I think we're really sitting on the cusp of an explosion in embedded vision.
Yeah, it's
for better
exciting.
or for worse. It's going to be robots all around us.
Yeah, and for a DSP company, it's for better, I think.
It's good for us,
yeah.
Mark, you recently attended the Embedded Vision Summit, which was a one-day conference on embedded vision put on by the Embedded Vision Alliance. What can you tell us about the Embedded Vision Alliance and TI's involvement?
So the Embedded Vision Alliance is really a group of member companies that got together with the idea of furthering the development in the embedded vision space. It was formed back in 2011. TI was one of the original founding members, and it brought together kind of experts in the embedded vision space. That it was this really great and exciting technology that we felt was really poised to take off, but we wanted to make sure that people knew how to use it properly so that they didn't put out some subpar products that would kind of hinder the adoption of it in the future. So we've got this great Embedded Vision Alliance website where there's tutorials, there's white papers, there's all sorts of things to help people, whether you're
and I think they really started that at a good time, because I remember back when it started a few years ago, there were just a few companies looking at it. It was, it hadn't really hit mainstream, let's say, at least at our level. And now, what, 50 companies?
Yeah, it's growing rapidly. It's like 52 member companies right now, more being added every quarter.
And I know one of the hot topics, you have to train the machines to be able to recognize things, and if they don't do a good job doing it, proliferating this technology is difficult. So there's a deep learning algorithm that came out a couple years ago that is sort of all the rage and is working really well. And at TI, we're looking at how to take that deep learning from a server space where they train and put it into the embedded space where you might be going out and trying to recognize things in robots and other devices.
Yeah, and it was a really hot topic at the Embedded Vision Summit that they had. They actually had one of the tracks dedicated to the convolutional neural nets for deep learning. And they actually had a keynote by Dr. Wen Ru from the Baidu Institute of Deep Learning.
Yeah, they compete with Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, and everybody's trying to.
Yeah, and actually the day before the conference, they actually moved Google to #2 on the ImageNet results. They had the world's best. So it was a really hot topic, and everyone's interested. So it's going to be great to see how TI can play in that space and how we can actually work in the deployment of those trained systems.
Yeah.
Another hot topic at the Embedded Vision Summit were open APIs and how they can accelerate development and portability for embedded vision customers. One of the open standards that kept coming up was OpenCV for Open Computer Vision. So what are TI's plans for supporting OpenCV?
Well, the good news is we actually already support it. So OpenCV is a pretty large library that typically runs on a desktop servers, on an Intel or something, and it's been traditionally pretty difficult to bring that into in the embedded space. So the first step we did was to take the OpenCV library and port it over to our ARM-based portfolio, ARM plus DSP based, but run it on the ARM. So it's a little bit easier to move things directly from an Intel-based system to an ARM-based system. And now we look to optimize that on DSPs so that you can take advantage of all the benefits the DSP will bring in terms of getting the performance up to what you need it to be. So we already support it on the ARMs, and we're looking to, and we'll start optimizing for DSPs.
Yeah, and we have it as it's a free download available on our site. I think it's OpenCV 2.4.9, and it runs on all our Cortex A8, A9, and A15 processors. So it's already there, and we'll be working to optimize it on the DSP, but the implementation is freely downloadable off the TI site.
All right, let's move to the wrap-up.
Let's do it.
Movie time, sticking with embedded vision. What's your favorite recent movie that has some sort of embedded vision theme?
Yeah, you know what's coming.
What could it possibly be?
Guardians of the Galaxy. Favorite movie in a lot of different categories, but how does it relate to embedded vision, right? First scene with Rocket and Groot in it. He's using that tablet with vision so he can scan the environment and it can identify bounties in the area. Great use of embedded vision.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day that you don't bring up Guardians.
That'll be a while. So Arnon, back to the open API topic that are of interest to embedded vision developers. I see in April TI officially became OpenCL compliant. Big deal?
Yeah, it is. You know, a lot of these open standards allow developers to move their code from one device to another, from one system to another. So OpenCL is a language that lets you go from heterogeneous devices of any kind from one to the other. So we're one of the first DSP companies to offer it, and people can now, again, like OpenCV, move from bigger systems to smaller systems and embed them in.
Yep. Another way to help developers on DSPs move their systems onto DSP, or if they need to go the other way as well, right? But we support it now, so it's great.
Yep. All right, last topic. Microsoft has an interesting site called howold.net that takes a picture of a person as an input and gives it back the age that it thinks you are. So Mark, I know you uploaded a picture earlier today. What did it tell you?
Apparently this algorithm is meant to be very flattering. I don't think they want to alienate people, because I put up a picture from us the last time we filmed here. 36.
Oh my.
I know. And then I took a picture of me from when I was at the beach a week after that. 33. So I'm getting younger. I like this program. I got to show it to my wife. I think she'll like it.
I'm not going to tell you my results. They were not quite the same.
I think it's a good site. All right, okay, we're out of time. Thanks for taking a break with us. Tweet us your questions and comments using the hashtag DSP Break, and we'll address them in future videos.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Check out the Embedded Vision Alliance website for more information on embedded vision, and check out ti.com/dreamdsp for all the latest info and material on TI DSPs. And to help you remember DSP, think, don't stupidly procrastinate.
Yes, you should not procrastinate. That's a good lesson.
He's saying that I didn't come up with my own DSP.
Maybe. That's what, I'm not saying I put that in you.